So Disney star Cole Sprouse, you guys know who he is speaking out about growing up in the spotlight. Cole and his twin brother Dylan are known for Disney's The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but started acting when they were just 6 months old. You might also know them from Adam Sandler's film Big Daddy, and Cole was Ross Geller's son Ben on Friends.
Yep.
Wow.
You know
Long time ago. Speaking to the New York Times, Cole said he understands why some childhood stars go nuts, because fame is a trauma, especially for the young women who grew up on the Disney Channel with him, who he says were highly sexualized. He said he gets defensive when people mock stars like Britney Spears and Demi Lovato because of what they went through as child stars. Whoa. Erica, you're shaking head. Do we need to protect child stars more?
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen it in action over the past 10, I think 15 years. The laws changed about guardianship and how money can be held onto and by whom. But yeah, I mean, you still see things. Al talks about watching kids shows and how there's an undertone that feels very uncomfortable.
I don't even know how much of an undertone it is. It's that overt. And I've put it on our group thread. You're exactly right, Eric, and I don't want to cut you off, but I watch those shows with my kids because they watch a lot of them. And some of them, I'm taking screenshots in real time and putting them on our group thread. This is a very strange shot. I wonder what I've written for television. I know where things should go and why would there be a cutaway of that, and why is there a zoom in on Sam's face in this shot? Just a lot of things don't make sense. So I definitely see that. And when you go a little deeper, you read articles about strange auditions, things like that. That's just the stuff we know about. Imagine taking your kid to these auditions every single day, and they go into a room and you don't know what's said to them. Oh, you're a little too fat for this. You're a little too thin for this. Oh, we're not looking for somebody with your look. Imagine hearing that at 6. I couldn't hear that at 36.
Same.
You know, so you think about that. It's almost like wet cement that's put there, and it hardens, and it's now we wonder why all these people are having issues in their 20s. It's because stuff that happened to them when they were 5 years old, and we're throwing our hands up we don't get it.
We don't get a lot of success stories either from child actors. Right. I mean, a couple have made it through, so luckily they're speaking out about what's really happening. We see the breakdown of all these child star actors, so I'm glad they're speaking out about what was going on, because you're talking about auditions. Imagine when you're on set and your parents aren't around, and who's taking advantage of you for what? And adults looking to a 6-year-old for their financial future. Could you imagine what kind of warped world that is? So
we've seen it.
We speak on all these things that we have no idea. This is one of them. Unless you're a child star that came up like that, you have no idea what this world is. So I'm glad they're speaking out about it.
And I should just say that, the Sprouse brothers have turned out very well. We know people that know them, and their heads are on their shoulders. And
clearly.
That's why they're speaking out.
I wonder if they're going to be the face of this movement, almost like the Me Too movement, but for young.
Hope so.
I hope this needs to be a movement. It's a thing.
And it's not only, the ones that we know of, right? We only talk about these really successful actors that have later come forward and talked about. We even had Tracy on our show, right? That came on and told her story.
Tracy Gold.
Gold, yes. But then there's the actors that maybe you don't recognize, that have been to audition after audition after audition. Maybe they never, quote unquote, made it. How did it affect them? So there needs to be some major change in Hollywood, because these are our children. And it's very scary that they're seen as only materialistic objects.
I don't know how much time we have left, but I'll just say the first television shoot I ever did, I was doing this promo for Comedy Central. They were introducing their young comedians, the next crop of young comics. And it was the premise was we were on a school bus, and they were going to have 4 kids get off, and then I get off with the other comics doing the show. And I remember listening to the kid extras talking about their careers, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do that CVS commercial at 5. Are you gonna be there? And just how and I'm nervous. I have a mic on. I've never been on TV, and I just remember thinking how adult they were. I remember thinking that they were talking like industry insiders, oh yeah, my agent, he's gonna. And it's 6.
Right.
So I've seen it. It's very weird. Sorry.
When you said you were getting off a bus with 5 children for Comedy Central, I pictured you knocking them over because it was your show.
Yeah.
Is that, do I have a weird thought in my head, or would that be funny?
Done that. No, it's me getting off a school bus.